We looked at various error detecting methods that we can use to detect for errors after data has been transmitted, and we also touched on another error detection method, and then we said that one is used for data entry, right? And we said we have got parity check, we have got checksum, we have echo check, we have got check digit, automated repeat request. So those are the error detecting methods that are used in data transmission. And specifically, remember, check digit, we said it is an error detecting method that is used to detect errors upon data entry. So those are the error detecting methods that we have. So today we want to look at encryption. Welcome to my channel, Kodai Entertainment TV, where we focus on computer science, ICT, and mathematics. In today's lesson, we want to look at encryption, right, as a topic, encryption. So, just a basic background on encryption. So remember, we're discussing data transmission, we did data representation in data transmission. So encryption, it is a method that is used to scramble data into a bunch of characters, meaningless bunch of characters. That is encryption. So why do we do encryption? We encrypt data so that even after it has been hacked, that third person or that hacker will not be able to make any use of it, because it will, he will just get a bunch of meaningless characters. So that is why encryption is important when transmitting data. So the data that we encrypt will take different forms. Like, for example, before the data is encrypted, it is known as plain text, right? It is known as plain text, and after the data has been encrypted, it will now be referred to as ciphertext. And the algorithm that we use to encrypt data is called encryption key, right? So those are some of the key terms that you are going to be constantly hearing throughout this presentation. There are two methods that we can use to encrypt data. The first one is called symmetric encryption. So symmetric encryption, this is a method of encrypting data that uses the same key to both encrypt and decrypt data. That is symmetric encryption. And then asymmetric encryption, it is a more advanced, in fact, it is a more secure version, or an advanced version of symmetric encryption, which uses different keys to encrypt and decrypt data. So this is asymmetric encryption. Now let us look at the first one, which is symmetric encryption. So with symmetric encryption, what happens is that data is encrypted, right? Your data is encrypted before being transmitted, and then the encryption, the data which is now turned into ciphertext will now be sent, right, to the receiving device separately with the encryption keys, right? So when the data is received, so that encryption key is used to decrypt the ciphertext back into plain text, right? So let me repeat it again. So these are the stages that we have when using symmetric encryption. So first of all, our data, which is a plain text, would be converted. In fact, it will be encrypted, right, into ciphertext using the same key that will be used to decrypt the data. And then after the data has been encrypted into ciphertext, then it is now transmitted, the data is now transmitted to the receiving person or receiving device separately with the encryption key. So when the ciphertext is received at the receiving device or by the receiving person, then that same encryption key that was used to encrypt data would be used to decrypt the data, so that it can go back to its original form, which is the plain text. So that is how symmetric encryption works. Now let us look at how asymmetric encryption works. So with asymmetric encryption, in the stages, they're almost the same, but they're a little bit different, because at the first stage we have got our data, which is plain text. Now it is encrypted, right, into ciphertext using a public key, right? Using a public key. There are two keys which are involved in asymmetric, public key and a private key. But in symmetric, we only use a private key. But in asymmetric, we use two keys which are public key and a private key. So the public key, from the word public, it is public to anyone who wants to communicate or transmit information to you. It is very public. So that public key is used to encrypt data. Then after the data has been encrypted, it is now in form of a ciphertext. Then this ciphertext, that's stage number 2 now, this ciphertext is transmitted to the receiving device or to the receiving person. Now, the receiving person or the receiving device will use, right, the receiving device will now use its private key to decrypt this ciphertext into plain text, right? So it doesn't use the public key. The public key is only used, right, before the data is transmitted. It is used to encrypt data, right? So, and then after that, the data is transmitted as ciphertext. When the data is received at the receiving end, now the private key is used to decrypt this encrypted data back into plain text. One thing that you need to know is that the public key that is used to encrypt data in asymmetric is obtained from the receiver. Remember, I said it has got two keys which are public key and private key. A public key is common, right? It is not private, right? It is public to anyone who intends or who wishes to transmit information to you. So once a person intends to transmit information to another person, right? Device A is about to transmit information to device B. It obtains device B's public key, and then it uses that device B's public key to encrypt information or to encrypt data into ciphertext before transmission. Then after it is encrypted data into ciphertext, then that ciphertext is transmitted to the receiving device. In this case, it's device B. Then when the receiving device, which is device B, when it receives the information from device A, it now uses its private, right? It now uses its private key to decrypt the ciphertext back into plain text. So this is what happens in asymmetric encryption. So if you are about to choose, or maybe there is a scenario that requires your recommendation as an IT person, maybe the company wants to implement a system that they use to transmit messages to its workers, or maybe to its business partners and so forth, and then they ask you as to what type of encryption can we use, right? So as an IT person, you would be required to recommend the person or the company to use asymmetric encryption. Why? Because it is more secure as compared to symmetric encryption. So this is what we have, or what we had to discuss about encryption. If you have got any questions about encryption, please show those questions in the comments section below. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. You can contact me using the number appearing on the screen. You can as well follow me on my various social media platforms on Facebook, LinkedIn, using the links provided in the video description below. And you can also support my channel on Facebook by giving stars. You can donate stars to me on Facebook, on my channel on Facebook, that is Kudakwache Chikwaya on Facebook. So you can go there, watch my videos. You can support my channel by donating stars. And again, you can also donate to this channel using EFT. The details for that EFT are provided on the screen. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.